Welcome to Dragon Age 2 Recapped. Now keep in mind I'm making this video for people who have a basic understanding of the world of Dragon Age. If you do not, you probably want to watch these short videos first, which I'll link in the video description, and then come back. Or not. Dragon Age 2 opens up with the framing device of Seeker Cassandra interrogating the dwarf Varric about the whereabouts of Hawke, your player character. Varric starts his story in Ferelden, where the village of Lothering was destroyed by the Darkspawn during the Fifth Blight. Hawke, their mother Leandra, and their younger twin siblings, Bethany and Carver, escape the chaos. Bethany and even Hawke, depending on your class, are apostate mages and were taught magic by their deceased father Malcolm. In the turmoil, they run into Aveline and her Templar husband Wesley. They all fight their way through the Darkspawn, but Wesley and whichever of the twins matches your magical ability are killed. Before the rest are overrun, a dragon swoops in to save them and then transforms into the Witch of the Wilds, Flemeth. She agrees to take them all to safety. We cut to the Hawke family and Aveline on the boat to Kirkwall in the Free Marches, which is overrun with Ferelden refugees. The city has completely shut its gates. Leandra, however, used to be a noble in Kirkwall before she eloped with the escaped Circle Mage Malcolm. She contacts her only living relative, her brother Gamlen Amell. Gamlen is able to bring the family and Aveline in at the cost of Hawke and their sibling being indentured servants for a year, as they find out that he has gambled and wasted the entire family fortune, even losing the estate. A year goes by and Hawke and their sibling are looking for work now that they are free. Here is where we meet Varric, whose brother Bartrand is going to go into the deep roads to scour for treasure. Varric proposes that Hawke invests in the trip, so Hawke goes off to find odd jobs to raise the money. During this time, we meet our other companions. Merrill, a Dalish elf who has turned to blood magic to try and restore a shattered alluvion that somehow blighted two of her clanmates. Anders, an escaped Grey Warden mage who took a spirit of justice into himself and is now an abomination. He is traumatized from his life in the Ferelden Circle and is passionate about mage freedoms. Isabella, a flirtatious Ravani pirate who was shipwrecked and is now stranded in Kirkwall. Fenris, an escaped Tevinter slave whose former master engraved painful lyrium runes into his skin, giving him unnatural abilities. And finally, Sebastian, a DLC character who was to be part of the Chantry clergy, but recently learned that his entire noble family was murdered in a political plot back in Starkhaven. After collecting the money and venturing into the deep, they find an extremely old thaig that holds a strange red lyrium idol. Bartrand betrays them for it, leaving them to die in the deep. Eventually, Hawke is able to find an escape and even more treasure to bring home. A few years later, Hawke brought their family out of poverty with the money they earned from the expedition. Hawke is contacted by the Viscount of Kirkwall to look into the rising tension between the Kirkwall Chantry and the Qunari military, who shipwrecked some years ago along with their leader, the Arishok. The Arishok is disgusted with Kirkwall, which admittedly is a bit of a shithole, and Hawke is constantly trying to keep the peace with the Qunari. Eventually, the Qunari tension breaks with the Arishok attacking Kirkwall from within. Hawke and friends fight their way to the royal chambers to find that the Viscount has already been killed. Depending on your choices, chaos erupts in the royal hall, or Hawke is challenged to a one-on-one duel with the Arishok, Hawke claiming victory no matter what. Knight Commander Meredith then crowns Hawke as the new champion of Kirkwall. A few years after that, the tension between the Templars and the Mages is at an all-time high, with Knight Commander Meredith and First Enchanter Orsino openly arguing in the streets. While those of the Chantry try to calm them, it is not a lasting peace. Eventually, Meredith becomes paranoid and crazed, and during another argument with Orsino, Anders takes the opportunity to confront them both. Meredith has been abusing her power and torturing the mages, while Orsino has not done enough for his people. And so, Anders blows up the Chantry. Meredith calls for all the mages in Kirkwall to be killed, and here Hawke can decide which side to take. No matter what, Orsino uses blood magic to turn into an abomination to fight off the Templars, and Meredith shows that she has bought the red lyrium idol from Bartrand and made it into a sword. The idol's magic has been the reason for her outbursts, and she fights the champion until she draws too much power from it and turns into red lyrium herself, with Hawke either running away with the rest of the mages or staying in Kirkwall to help restore order. And one mid-game DLC. Legacy can be started at any point in the game and revolves around Hawke and their living sibling. Together they unravel a mystery about their father, who traded his cooperation with the Grey Wardens for safety from Templars for his family. He used blood magic to restore a seal in Corypheus, who was one of the Defender Magisters who broke into the Golden City and brought the Blight into the world. While Corypheus breaks free of his prison, Hawke and his friends are able to defeat him. Or so they think. And with that, if you would like more short recaps to the other Dragon Age games and tie-in media, please check the playlist linked below. Or perhaps, if you're more interested in getting a better handle on the lore of the world of Thedas rather than a recap of the games, please check out my Dragon Age 101 and 201 playlists down below, or check out some of my longer videos on the channel. Thanks for watching, and Darasha all.